99% of people type a question into ChatGPT and walk away with junk. They think the AI is broken, when in reality, their prompts are. In this video, we'll show you exactly why almost everyone fails at AI prompting, and how you can join the 1% who get perfect results every single time. Welcome back to our channel. What you're about to watch is a complete masterclass, perfect for finance pros, creators, or anyone who wants their AI to think like a world-class analyst. Here's our game plan. 1. Mindset and myths. We'll expose the habits that guarantee failure. 2. Prompt engineering fundamentals. Your foundation. 3. Personas and context mastery. The secret to getting tailored, expert responses. 4. Advanced tactics. Dual persona and prompt chaining. 5. Real-world finance case studies. By the end, you'll know how to craft prompts that feel like hiring a top-tier team on demand. Let's start by understanding why so many smart people still fail.
Let's rip the bandage off. Almost everyone using AI is doing it wrong. They throw in a lazy sentence, press enter, and hope for magic. Then they cry, the AI isn't smart enough. Stop. The AI isn't the problem. You are. In this section coming up, we're going to be breaking down the real reasons the 99% fail. Not quick hacks, not fancy demos, just the hard truth you need to hear. The first delusion? Believing the model reads your mind. A large language model doesn't share your context. It predicts words based only on the ones you give it. That's it. No hidden telepathy. Think about briefing a brand new hire on day 1. If you just say, work on the project, you'll get chaos. AI is that new hire. Brilliant, but clueless. The fix is brutal in its simplicity. Spell out the job. Audience, purpose, scope, tone, constraints. If you don't feed it, it starves. Google trained us to drop 2 keywords and hit return. That reflex is poison here. These models thrive on clarity, not minimalism. Think of a world-class chef. Would you walk in and say, cook food? Or would you describe the cuisine, the guests, the dietary needs, the plating style? Detail isn't fluff, it's precision. Every extra line is a guardrail keeping the model from wandering. Another fantasy. I can fix a weak prompt with a high temperature or a clever plugin. No, that's like sprinkling chili powder on rotten meat. You might change the flavor, but the meal is still spoiled. Parameters tweak style. They do not replace instruction. Strip away those myths, and the villains are obvious. Vagueness, lack of context, undefined output. A language model is a next word prediction engine. If you feed it fog, it will happily give you beautifully phrased fog. That's not a bug. That's math. Stop thinking of AI as magic. Start seeing it as machinery. The gears are probabilistic tokens, not crystal balls. Once you get that, prompting becomes engineering, and engineering rewards structure. You are not asking questions. You are issuing briefs. Treat the model like a consultant on $1 million retainer. Consultants need a clear mandate. Without it, they give you a glossy but useless deck. People brag about one-line prompts. That's not mastery. That's laziness. The 1% write prompts like architectural plans. Specific, layered, unambiguous. They spend minutes on the brief to save hours on the output. Because vagueness feels easy. Because typing fast feels productive. Because it's comforting to believe a machine will read between the lines. But comfort doesn't create results. Results come from deliberate design. Here's the mental discipline. State the goal. What outcome do you want? Provide the frame. Who's the audience? What constraints matter? Define success. How will you know the output is right? Miss any step and you're back with the 99%. Prompting isn't just a tech skill. It exposes how you think. If you can't articulate the result you need, you can't lead a team, negotiate a contract, or design a product. The model is a mirror. It shows the clarity or the chaos inside your head. Let's be crystal clear. AI is not a genie. Short prompts are not genius. Settings can't rescue sloppy thinking. If you stay vague, you will stay average. So decide now. Will you keep typing like the crowd or brief like the 1%? Because the next chapter is where we build the toolkit that separates amateurs from pros, the fundamentals, the repeatable process. Miss that, and you'll never get past mediocrity. You've heard the myths. You've seen the mindset. If this stung a little, that means you're ready. Let's move to the fundamentals and start building prompts that actually deliver.
Welcome to the core of the masterclass. Chapter 1 exposed the myths. Now we build the method, the fundamentals that move you from casual user to precision engineer. Think of this as learning to drive a Formula 1 car. Chapter 1 taught you not to crash into the wall. Chapter 2 puts you in the driver's seat and hands you the real controls. And at the end of this chapter, I'll give you a single phrase, one you can write on a sticky note, that locks all 9 into your head forever. Don't skip. That phrase is the difference between fumbling and mastery. First rule, assign a role. Don't just say, explain derivatives. Say, you are a senior risk analyst briefing the CFO. Why? Because language models shape every sentence around the persona you give them. Without a role, the model defaults to bland Wikipedia mode. A well-defined voice transforms generic text into expert guidance. This isn't decoration, it's a steering wheel. Second, state the goal like a contract. AI is a world-class assistant, but a terrible mind reader. An example of a weak goal is, help with budgeting. An example of a strong goal is, produce a 500-word overview comparing next quarter's expense scenarios with a focus on staffing costs and technology spend. The stronger you state the mission, the less cleanup later. This is where you save hours. Context is the oxygen of a good prompt. Feed the model details, the audience, the data source, the time frame, the level of expertise. Imagine briefing a lawyer before a trial. You wouldn't say, talk about the case. You'd hand them every fact that shapes the argument. Do the same here. No context, no insight. Tell the model how you want the answer delivered. Do you want bullet points, tables, numbered steps, or an executive summary? It's your choice. Think of it as setting the mold before you pour the concrete. The model flows into the structure you define. Skip the mold and you get a shapeless blob. Add boundaries. Give it the word count, the tone, reading level, and citation requirements. Constraints sharpen the output. A painter thrives on a canvas size. A musician thrives on a key signature. Your AI thrives on limits. Without them, it rambles endlessly. Pros don't expect perfection on the first try. They iterate. They draft, review, and refine. Prompting is a conversation, not a lottery ticket. Every response is raw material to sculpt. The amateurs quit after one attempt. The 1%ers treat every run as a stepping stone. Tell the model what worked and what didn't. You can tell the model, good start, but tighten the language, drop the jargon, and add a real-world analogy. Feedback is fuel. These systems are built to adapt inside a session. If you stay silent, you leave power on the table. Build templates. Your best prompts should become frameworks you can reuse and tweak. Think of, for example, checklists for audits, interview scorecards, or weekly research briefs. Professionals don't reinvent the wheel. They systematize. Avoid cryptic language and insider shorthand. Clever prompts are fun on Twitter. Clarity wins in real work. Speak in plain, direct sentences. Models are multilingual, but ambiguity trips them. Be sharp, not cute. This is where the game changes. You are no longer tossing wishes into a magic box. You are engineering outcomes. Every great result is built on these fundamentals. Skip them, and you're back with the 99%, frustrated and confused. Once these steps are muscle memory, you can scale. You can create libraries of role-specific prompts. You can train teammates with your templates. And you can automate repetitive workflows. That's how you turn a neat trick into a career advantage. People will tell you this sounds like overkill. They'll insist they get pretty good answers with one sentence. Sure, they also get pretty good coffee from an instant packet. But if you want the espresso shot of insight, you grind the beans. Fundamentals are the grind. All right, let's burn these 9 fundamentals into your memory. Remember the phrase, real focus. Each letter is your blueprint. If you want every prompt to land, keep your mind in real focus. That phrase locks in all 9 fundamentals. R is for role. Always tell the model who it is. Give it a job title, a perspective, a seat at the table. E is for end goal. State the outcome like a contract so the answer can't wander. A is for add context. Feed in every fact, constraint, and piece of background it needs to think like you. L is for layout. Specify the structure and format before it writes a single word. Now we move to focus, the engine that keeps your prompts sharp. F stands for framework and guardrails. Set limits, tone, and style so the model stays in your lane. O is for ongoing iteration. Prompt, review, refine. Each round sharpens the blade. C is for critique and feedback. Judge the draft, point out gaps, push it to improve. U is for use and reuse. Save winning prompts and build them into repeatable systems. And S is for simplicity. Clarity over cleverness every single time. Remember the phrase, real focus. Role, end goal. Add context, layout, framework, ongoing iteration, critique, use, simplicity. Keep your prompting in real focus and you'll never lose power. And every prompt you write will hit harder.
You've nailed real focus. Now we go deeper into the single technique that separates good prompts from breathtaking ones, personas and layered context. A strong role isn't just a job title. It's a mental model that rewires how the AI thinks, speaks, and prioritizes. And when you stack the right context on top, you stop getting answers. You get expertise. Let's light it up with a double lens example. A persona isn't theater, it's a context trigger. The phrase hedge fund analyst flips an internal switch. Suddenly, the model speaks risk, basis points, liquidity. Swap that for street photographer, and the vocabulary explodes with texture, shadow, and light. Think about that. Same model, same question, but a single word, analyst versus artist, reroutes the entire neural pathway. When you craft personas deliberately, you steer tone, framing, even the emotional weight of every sentence. This is where prompting turns from instruction into design. Let's stress test it. I ask, describe today's market mood. As a derivatives trader, it talks spreads, volatility, liquidity, crunch. As an avant-garde artist, it paints a canvas of storm clouds and fractured color. Exact same question. Wildly different universes. That's the power you leave on the table when you skip personas. But a title alone won't win the game. Context is the real fuel. Imagine we need a morning brief from a fixed income strategist. We don't just say, write a market note. We load layers. Yesterday's yield curve moves. Today's auction calendar. The fact that the audience is a cautious board, not a trading desk. A 250-word limit and UK spelling. Every layer is a data-rich breadcrumb. The more you feed, the more the model narrows its aperture and cuts out generic filler. Layered context is how you turn a powerful engine into a precision instrument. Here's where most people blow it. Vagueness, tossing a one-line persona with zero backstory. Result? Fluffy answers that could come from Wikipedia. Mismatch, asking a poet to calculate VAR or a compliance officer to write ad copy. The role fights the task and the output falls flat. Missing details, forgetting dates, figures, audience, or constraints. The model can't read your mind. Every unspoken detail is lost intelligence. Miss any of these and you cut your results in half before you even start. Let's build a powerhouse prompt together, step by step. Goal: a 2-paragraph market risk brief for the board. Step 1. Role: you are a senior risk officer at a global bank. Step 2. Outcome: draft a concise 2-paragraph board update on current rate volatility and credit spreads. Step 3. Context: use today's yield data, highlight key drivers, and recommend 2 immediate actions. Step 4. Format and guardrails: professional tone, 250 words, UK spelling. Feed that to the model and watch it deliver a polished note that feels like it came from your own team. That is personas and context, working together in real time. Personas aim the mind. Context loads the ammo. Put them together and you stop chatting. You start directing. In Chapter 4, we link these pieces into multi-step chains. Prompts that hand results from one persona to another, building entire workflows while you sip coffee. Lock this in. because the next chapter is where we start bending time.
We've mastered single persona power. But some challenges demand more than one mind. Think of it like playing chess against yourself. White pieces and black pieces share the same board, but each side has its own strategy. In this chapter, we stack roles and run them in sequence, transforming a single model into a team of specialists. First, we let two experts debate inside one response, dual persona. Then we build a pipeline where each expert passes their work forward, prompt chaining. This isn't clever wordplay. It's a repeatable method to run multi-stage projects while you drink your morning coffee. Ready to multiply your firepower? Let's dive in. Some decisions live in tension. Growth versus risk, speed versus accuracy. A single persona can outline both sides, but it can't feel the conflict. Enter dual persona prompts. By giving the model two distinct roles, you force it to hold two mindsets at once. Example: act as a venture capitalist and a cautious regulator. Debate whether to fund a crypto startup. Watch the dialogue. The VC pushes market opportunity. The regulator fires back with compliance risks. You instantly see trade-offs you might have missed. Why it works. The label itself, venture capitalist, regulator, triggers different vocabularies, different priorities. The model's internal language shifts, producing a conversation instead of a flat list. And you can scale it. Add a customer advocate, a security engineer, a CFO. It's like convening a roundtable in seconds. Clarity is king. Step 1. Define each role. Be vivid. You are a senior risk officer protecting capital, or you are a copywriter obsessed with emotional hooks. Step 2. State the mission for each. Give them slightly different targets so tension appears. Step 3. Set interaction rules. Do you want a point-counterpoint debate? A negotiated compromise? A formal report summarizing both? Spell it out. Add optional extras. A word limit for each persona so neither dominates. A request for a joint recommendation at the end. Here's a full example. Play the roles of a cybersecurity engineer and a marketing director. Discuss a product launch that requires public excitement but airtight security. Present the dialogue and then a joint action plan. The output reads like a high-stakes meeting you didn't have to schedule. Dual persona is about simultaneous viewpoints. Prompt chaining is about sequential intelligence. Think of a relay race. One runner finishes a lap and hands the baton to the next. Each step uses the prior output as raw material. Why bother? Because most real-world tasks, drafting policies, analyzing markets, designing audits, are layered. Discovery, analysis, synthesis. A single giant prompt is messy. A clean chain is controllable and auditable. The model can even critique its own earlier steps, catching errors before they reach the finish line. That's the magic. Let's build the skeleton of a three-stage chain. Stage 1, discovery. Persona A is the researcher. It gathers raw data, cites sources, flags gaps. Stage 2, analysis. Persona B is the strategist. It scores the data, ranks options, highlights risk. Stage 3, synthesis. Persona C is the communicator. It writes the board-ready brief. Because each stage has a single mission, you get crisp deliverables. You can insert quality gates. Ask Stage 2 to critique Stage 1. Ask Stage 3 to check Stage 2's assumptions. Need more depth? Add a Stage 4 for compliance review, or a Stage 5 for formatting into PowerPoint bullets. You control the line from start to finish. Let's see it in action. Goal: design a launch strategy for a new AI-powered audit platform. Step 1. Market Scout. Prompt: you are a competitive intelligence analyst. Identify the top 5 rival products, list strengths, weaknesses, and key differentiators in under 400 words. Step 2. Strategist. Prompt: you are a senior product manager. Using the analyst's findings, craft a launch plan highlighting how we outperform these rivals. Include timing, budget priorities, and risk mitigations. Step 3. Brand voice. Prompt: you are a marketing director. Turn the launch plan into a concise 250-word press release with a bold headline and 3 key talking points. You can run these manually, pasting each output into the next step, or automate the flow with a simple script or tool. In less than 10 minutes, you have a market brief, a strategy, and a press release. work that might take a human team a week. A few traps to dodge. Overstuffing, jamming all roles and steps into one megaprompt. You lose control and the model guesses its structure. Missing guardrails. If each stage lacks constraints, like word limits, tone, or citation style, the chain drifts and quality drops. No final check. Always close with a neutral reviewer persona. Ask it to fact-check, tighten language, and flag contradictions. Forgetting human oversight. Chains are powerful, but you still own the decision. Use the model to surface insight, not to abdicate judgment. Dual persona sharpens perspective. Prompt chaining scales it. With these tactics, you've turned a single AI into a fleet. Specialists who debate, collaborate, and hand work forward in perfect sequence. Buckle up for the next part.
We've built the toolbox: personas, layered context, dual experts, prompt chains. Now let's see it earn its keep in the toughest arena I know: high-stakes finance. This isn't a highlight reel of gimmicks, it's a stress test. Because if a prompt system can handle the speed, regulation, and complexity of global markets, it can handle anything you throw at it. I'm going to walk you through 3 finance-grade scenarios, realistic but scrubbed of any private data, showing exactly how these techniques work under pressure. Watch for the patterns and the pitfalls. These are the moves you can copy tomorrow. Scenario 1, a market risk audit for a global bank. Goal: identify emerging threats across credit, liquidity, and model risk, and package them for a board review. Step 1, discovery persona. Prompt: you are a senior risk analyst. Scan recent regulatory releases, macroeconomic data, and stress testing results to surface the top 5 risk drivers. Step 2, validator persona. You are an internal audit manager. Critique the analyst's findings, flag missing metrics, and challenge assumptions. Step 3, board communicator. Summarize the validated list in 250 words with plain English impact statements and recommended mitigations. What this shows? Dual persona tension forces healthy debate before conclusions land. Prompt chaining documents every step, perfect for an audit trail. Constraints: word count audience, keep it board ready. Output quality rivaled what a week-long human team would produce, and the chain left a transparent record regulators love. Next, a buy-side portfolio desk under sudden rate shocks. We need a scenario analysis fast. Role in context. You are a fixed-income strategist advising a multi-currency portfolio. Assume a 75 basis point surprise hike and a 10% equity drawdown. Identify portfolio stress points and hedging options. Dual persona twist. Add a risk-averse compliance officer who challenges any hedge that violates internal policy. Chaining. First response maps exposures. Second response scores each hedge for cost, liquidity, and policy compliance. Third response packages a recommended action plan with legal sign-off language. Key takeaways: personas keep the output sophisticated and roll true. Sequential steps let you inject real-time market data between prompts. The final note is both actionable and defensible, a must when millions of dollars move on the result. Final scenario: preparing a regulatory impact brief for a new cross-border derivatives rule. Persona A, international trade lawyer. Persona B, operations lead. Persona C, risk officer. Prompt sequence: 1 lawyer summarizes the rule and highlights legal gray zones. 2 ops lead maps, operational changes, system upgrades, new reporting lines. 3 risk officer quantifies exposure and proposes control enhancements. Dual persona debate uncovers conflicts. Legal wants speed, ops wants budget control. The chain ends with a consensus memo, formatted for direct submission to senior management. Result: a full compliance roadmap generated in hours instead of weeks, with a clear audit trail and stakeholder sign-off. What do these war stories teach us? 1. Roles are leverage. The sharper the persona, the more domain-specific the output. 2. Context is currency. Feed details, dates, metrics, constraints, and the model rewards you with precision. 3. Conflict creates clarity. Dual personas surface hidden trade-offs before they become costly mistakes. 4. Chains beat megaprompts. Breaking work into steps produces cleaner logic, easier review, and a natural audit trail. 5. Human oversight seals the deal. You remain the decision maker. The model is your power tool, not your proxy. Tattoo those 5 on your mental whiteboard. You've just watched advanced prompting survive the pressure cooker of finance. These methods, personas, context layering, dual voices, and sequential chains, don't just create pretty text, they create board-grade intelligence.
Pick one project, personal or professional, and build a 3-step prompt chain today. No perfect draft, just action.
Now it's your turn to put it to work. When you get a result you like, drop a comment below or share a quick note on your favorite social platform so others following this series can see it.
Want more? Head to Prompt Finance AI. That's our central hub.
You'll find every video in this series and new deep dive lessons rolling out each fortnight.
Bookmark it, because that's where we post new material and advanced modules.
Subscribe here on YouTube, hit the bell. Please let us know what you think in the comments.
Share the series with a teammate or friend who's ready to level up their AI skills.
This is the start of a bigger journey.
Teaching it to someone else locks the knowledge in for you. You now have the tools to design AI systems, not just ask questions.
Keep your prompting in real focus, and we'll see you soon.
Keep prompting with purpose.